When talking about the Mr. Burns play, I thought it was interesting that the show used The Simpsons because there are several unlikely storylines that have later come to pass in reality. For example, Donald Trump becoming president, and 20th Century Fox takeover of Disney, and even the U.S. beating Sweden for the gold medal in the Olympics for curling. It was strange that given all the movies, books, short stories, and even television shows that were much more meaningful and memorable, the author would have the people at the end of the world bond over a cartoon from the late 20th century. I've never watched The Simpsons or Cape Fear, and neither one of these are especially popular with minority communities. So I found it revealing that either the author wasn't thinking of minorities surviving at the end of time, or perhaps they weren't the audience for the play. If people are bonding with fond memories of a television show that most minorities don't watch, then even at the end of the world, the minority community is left out or doesn't survive. Even in a post-electric world, people had a desire for the forms of entertainment that they had lost. Due to the lack of other entertainment options, but also for nostalgic purposes, people valued and prioritized entertainment because they needed distractions from the depressing lives that they had and the depressing state of the world. And because remembering shows lifted them up and connected them with shared memories, they focused on creating new, recreating old TV shows that they loved. The importance of community to human beings is a value that is portrayed throughout the play. In the first act, the characters pull out their list of people that they remember and share those names with other people. A lot of people, Maria, the character Maria, asked if she could see the list of people because she was hopeful that maybe she would see some names that she recognized for herself. I thought it was strange to me that the storytelling in each act became much more valuable, especially with how in the second act they would trade performances of stories and parts, whether it was like a line or like an actual part of a performance for resources, and created their own entertainment industry. What I didn't understand going into the play, I'd never heard of Cape Fear before, and then after I researched it, I better understood why they related that to the character that was showed up unexpectedly in Act 1 and seemingly was stalking them, which was reminiscent of the character Max in Cape Fear as he stalked, harassed, and assaulted the family of the lawyer who was meant to represent him in his case, which he eventually lost, which is the premise of the movie in the first place. And what I think Mr. Burns says about the value of theater is that it highlights the importance of human interaction, which is what theater heavily deals in, while television is a useful medium for mass media. It's a one-way screen. The actors that are working are working for the camera. There's no audience immediately available, while in theater there's an immediate response. And so theater has that quality that relies on audience interaction for it to be successful. So in a world devoid of electricity, having theater as the sole form of consistent entertainment, which relies on human interaction, people will seek after it regardless of circumstance. I think humans are compelled to tell stories because we are inherently social creatures, and so storytelling is an easy source of socialization with other people, and it makes it easy to gather in large crowds. So the characters in the play, storytelling gives them a purpose. It gives them a reason to keep pushing themselves forward through a life with a bleak outlook, due to the circumstances they find themselves in. And so the questions I have for my peers are, if the situations in the play came to reality, what other long-running TV show could also have the same impact that The Simpsons did? And although all other forms of oral and performative media had vanished in the post-electric society, why couldn't the people be satisfied with reading books and other things of that nature?